coming up. She's our intergenerational moment yeah, I'm done dancing now. And I'm going to sit down and breathe. Okay.
This is Stephanie Lovlien. She's going to do our intergenerational moment, as Reverend Mindy just said. Stephanie heads our Healing Night team. I want you to know that. She's going to teach a class that's coming up in February. I want you to know that too. And she's an amazing person with an amazing story. So thank you for opening your hearts as she shares that story.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Yes, it's fun. It's fun for me to be up here. So intergenerational, I should probably start out by saying I'm 62. So that's, life started when I was probably 40, really. Up until the time I was 40, my life was pretty normal, right? Business degree, corporate America. Did grow up in the church, loved church camp, loved being a counselor at church camp. I was even camp nurse one year because I'm a retired EMT on a first responder squad. But then I was about 40, and I got one of those cosmic boots. But it happened when I saw a little ad in the paper. It was no bigger than that. And it was for an introductory massage therapy class. And it was going to be every Saturday in January and February of 2003. And I thought, I like to get massages. I wonder if I like to give one. My life turned upside down. I got let go from a job that I had for 13 years. It was part of my soul. Devastating, but I know now that it was meant to be. So I did go to school eventually, found one that taught not only Western modalities and Eastern modalities, but energy work. And it was the energy work that I really was passionate about. So fast forward to about the time I turned 50. And after a 24-year marriage, my husband asked for a divorce. And that knocked me on my keister for about 2 years. And then I was walking to church in the little town that I lived, 1,300 people. We had a sale twice a year, like a village-wide rummage sale. So I'm walking to church, and I see this little pull camper, size of a postage stamp. It's so small. But it said, Fun Finder on it. And I lit up like a Christmas tree. I know now that my spiritual words are yes and fun. So, and I heard that little voice in my head say, because I'm like, that's, I'd have to get another vehicle to tow it, and I don't want to do that. And I heard that voice say, well, why don't you get something more substantial and live in it? I was off to the races. My nose was in the phone every day, and I was looking for an RV. I ended up with a 40-foot diesel pusher motorhome. I sold my house to my ex-husband, and he was the only one I really wanted to buy it because we had built it, so it was our design, it was our baby, and there was nobody else in the world that I wanted to have it than him. And I took off. I headed south. I had one rule. I would always be above 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So didn't have to run any antifreeze through it. So that was good. And off I went. I only had 3 stops planned. My calendar had turned white for the first time in my life. How many of you have ever had your calendar turn white in your life? Okay, it's happened to me a couple of times. It is the most freeing thing that you can imagine. It's scary. So I had 3 stops planned, and I had nothing else planned. I thought I was going to end up in Atlanta, Georgia. It's too cold that they only have one campground. That didn't work. I ended up in Florida and lived in that motorhome. Her name was Possibilities for 7 years. That led me to Mesa. And 3 years ago, I ended up buying a house here in Mesa, and I sold my beloved Possibilities to a good home. So those are some highlights. Yeah, so right now I continue to say yes, and it's all about having fun. I would describe myself as a healer, teacher, storyteller, and fun finder. So I came up with a quote that I got from a book in the library, paid $1.50 for it. I always wanted to see it, Undine Moriarty's things, and it was her book, Dying to Be Me. For me, life is a spiritual experience, and I'm changing and evolving all the time.